overall look of the support for UCS in Terraform. The system is composed of two providers, the UCS provider and the UCS helper provider. The UCS provider is responsible to interact with the UCS, and for that we use the UCS XML API commands. This will allow us in the first instance to create service profiles that we will see later. The UCS helper provider is responsible to create using cloud init format cloud configuration file that is passed to the UCS helper. The UCS helper is also started by the UCS helper provider, and the UCS helper, based on information provided, he will create the config image, the ISO file, and then will create a web server to allow UCS to download these files. Given the structure of the system, in order to run it, you need to use a Terraform template file. In the final system, this will be just one file, but now I'm going to show using two files, one for each one of the providers, because I'm going to use to run them independently. I'm running the UCS emulator in the background, and then I have started the UCS manager. This is the UCS manager, and the only thing we are going to use it is to actually show that the service profile is created by using our providers. In these screens, we are going to display. In here, I'm going to execute the Terraform commands, and in these screens are going to be log files displayed. I have provided support to log messages at different levels, and I will run this example at the highest level of logging, so I will see all the messages that the system provides. Also, I put them into a file because Terraform, any message going to the standard error, they are captured by Terraform and it doesn't display them. So I'm going to put them into a file, and I tail the file so they will appear in this. In here, it will appear for the USC provider and the USC helper provider, and in here it will be for the standalone application, the USC helper. So for the first, the USC provider, we will have to run the Terraform apply to execute, but before that, let's have a look at Terraform configuration file. This configuration file is composed of a provider, that is the UCS, is the provider, and a resource. In this case, the resource is our service profile. The one is going to create a service profile, and it's composed that parameters to create this service profile. We are going to, in the first instance, we are going to use a template, and the name of this service profile is going to be new4, and is what is going to be displayed here when it's created, successfully created. And then we have other parameters that they are required to create, to boot the service profile. I must say that this part of the using the vMedia has not been completed, so we will see an error. And Terraform won't report us that the resource has been fully created, but it has been created. The only thing, it has not been completed. That's the thing. So let's now run it. we can see that Terraform is showing that there have been changes, so of course because they've been created, they don't exist. And here we have the log file that is showing, is showing that we are, first of all, we are going to log in, we are logging in, we send the message and we are coming back. The process is, after login take a little bit of time, and after the rest of the operations are very fast. We can see that the resource that we were creating, in this case the service profile, new for has been created. Like we said in the configuration file, it was going to be new for. And so that's the only thing, that's for now the thing we are going to look at. And also one of the things you can do is Terraform destroy. And Terraform destroy will destroy the element. You have to actually confirm it, and it's very strict, it has to be confirmed with yes. And now it's destroying the element. We will see that it will disappear from here, it should disappear from there. And here we see the same, we are logging in again, is the part that takes more time. We are logging in, I must say the system I am using is quite slow at the moment, so you're logging in, once you're logging in, you will execute the process. And we've seen that it say one destroy, and the element has disappeared. So this is the demonstration in relation to UCS provider. Now the next is to go to the helper provider. Okay, in the helper provider we are going to use this. In this one we are going to use these two because there are two log files. One is for the helper provider log file. I'm going to space it, where this scheme will show the helper provider log file, and the second one is for the standalone helper that will be displayed here also. Also, we have a look first of all to the configuration file. The configuration file has, like the previous one, part of parameters that are responsible for the logins. We are going to put the messages into a file. Have in mind that if you don't put any value in this case, it will go to the standard error, and Terraform won't display these log messages. So that's why I'm telling in these screens the file, and I'm sending it to a file. And this is about the UCS helper provider, and then in here we have the resource that this provider is responsible for, and this is mainly the boot system that is going to be used. So we are going to create a cloud configuration file, start the UCS helper standalone application, and pass these values plus other values, and this will allow the standalone application to create other files and provide access to these files through a web interface to the UCS, so the service profile can be started. So once this, so we can do apply, we can apply the process. As I said, all the messages will appear in these screens. So we can see that it has been very quick in creating a configuration file and then start the web server. And it's and I gave him just 60 seconds. So let's start the web. And by default, this is the is a local host and is in 8000 port, and this is the home page that shows you what is the parameters of the standalone application. If we want to actually have access to the OS, we can see that it has been added here, and if we do the same with the config, .ing, and we have seen that it appear also. So both of them has been created, and then if we wait a little bit, now Terraform has completed, and if we do that, we see that the web page doesn't exist anymore. So that means the standalone application has completed, has stopped, as we saw here that it has stopped and it has finished. So this is the different parts of the process already created and executed for the execution. And this is, we could also create say Terraform destroy, but this Terraform destroy, what it does, it just destroy the configuration file and the other, the ISO file and the image file. So that's not very much. Thank you very much.